And some of us, like me, in the middle of coronavirus, we have lost our ability to taste God's goodness. And because we're not tasting, we've stopped trusting. And the solution for us isn't to stop eating, but it's to start remembering the God pre-COVID. It's to start remembering the God pre-2020. It's to start remembering the God before the tragedy. For some of you, it has nothing to do with the past year. For some of you, it's remembering the God before the loss of a loved one. Remembering the God in the middle of the hopeful seasons. You've heard the phrase, don't forget in the darkness what God showed you in the light. And for some of us right now, this season just seems really dark. And in the midst of darkness, there are two things that we must remember to experience God's goodness. Number one, we must remember to trust that God does good. And that God does good in the midst of suffering. God can do so many good things in the midst of suffering. We experience God's goodness through trusting that God does good, trusting that God does good in creation, trusting that God does good in the midst of suffering. But the second way that we can experience God's goodness is through trusting that God is good. Sometimes when we don't experience God's goodness, we have to remember God's character, who He is, His essence, the qualities He possesses, the centrality of His character in the person of Jesus.